Right, one more thing, Funk.
Yep.
If this was WWE, Worldwide Wrestling, there'd be one side which was Vince McMahon, the owner of the corporation, and the other side which would be like The Rock, working for the peoples.
The people's champ.
All good and evil. But today, our mayor in London, this is very relevant if you're in London, but also if you're in any city across the world that uses these services. Our mayor, Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, announced the plans that kind of made it harder for Uber drivers. And when I say kind of, definitely did. Black cabs are going to be getting, and this is from an email that I got sent from Uber, by the way, that gave me this information. So this could be tainted. They let me know today via email that black cabs are going to get 65 million from the taxpayer, but private hire drivers are going to have to pay hundreds of pounds in extra costs. Uber drivers will need to take written English and advanced driving tests and have to pay for annual insurance, even if they only drive a few months of the year. And this is designed to affect Uber drivers. What are your thoughts on this in terms of that, Funk? Like, should our mayor be doing stuff like this, or?
Yes and no. The reason I say yes, because obviously black cabs are an institution. They're part of the fabric of what it is to be British, and they're part of the whole Britishness in terms of the transport here in this city. So it wouldn't make sense for the new mayor, Sadiq Khan, who's all these P's and Q's, he's just recently come into office, to kind of go against the force that is the black cabs. And they're quite a strong lobby group. I mean, when they're pissed off, they shut London down. Do you know what I mean? So, in that aspect, I see that Sadiq Khan is obviously being tactical, align himself with the stronger force. But in saying that, we live in a capitalist society, open to competition. He should be encouraging that. I feel the competition, the competitive nature that Uber has brought into the realm should make the black cab drivers up their game. It's always good. I always feel like the black cab institution, for the best part, has been very lethargic because they've never been challenged, and now there's been a new challenger.
Yeah, and
it should improve their game.
Yeah, and I think if you're a market leader, or if you're like a premium product, which is what black cabs are, they weren't the cheapest, but they gave you the best experience. Apparently, I'm just saying. I can't say that black cabs are the best or whatever, but we the best, but around. But it's I forgot where I was now because of that.
Do you think Sadiq's supposed to be impartial here?
I think that as a mayor, you want to make sure there's fair business, right? And Uber said this at the end of the email. This is what is interesting. They said, we understand black cab drivers are feeling the pressure from services like Uber, but the answer is to level the playing field by reducing today's burdensome black cab regulations, not to impose new costs on private hire drivers at the behest of Licensed Taxi Drivers Association and the London Cab Drivers Club. Now, the reason this could mess up this. Now, what we're saying about regulations is, just to be clear, is that black cab drivers have to do the knowledge.
Yeah,
they have to learn London. Long story short, you live in North London, they have to learn how to get to South. You live in East, they have to learn how to get to West. You have to just say, I live in so and so road near this main road.
How relevant is that now, with the whole GPS and
exactly. So they're tied up in a lot of regulation to be these premium drivers where there's no need. Exactly, Frank. There's no relevance needed because you can just use Google Maps. Yeah. And I like to think I know a bit of London. Yeah. Not all of it, but Google Maps has showed me ways to get to places on fucking time, bro. Yeah. As opposed to being late if I took my route.
Yeah.
So a combination of knowing your way and doing that is cool. But like, I think regulations definitely, I reckon by making it harder for Uber drivers, I don't know. It's a hard one, Funk. I mean, I think there's a time and a place for Uber. And there's a time and a place for local cabs. There's a time and a place for black cabs. Are Uber stealing that much out of black cabs' pockets? I don't know. I don't know many people that used to get black cabs but now get Ubers every day.
And to be fair, black cabs operate in a certain area of London.
Yeah.
And Uber's playground is a lot more broader.
The world.
Yeah. I mean, the world as well. But I mean, just on the capital level, like you can't order a black cab on the outskirts of London or Greater London because it just won't happen. So I guess the jurisdiction that the black cab union are fighting over is a small section. I guess, do you know what? I guess Sadiq Khan could just be like, have this area as a no-go area for Uber drivers. Let them dominate central London and then everyone. I'm sure the Uber community could chalk up enough pounds on the outskirts of London, up and down the UK, the world.
Yeah.
But you're really going to war with the black cab drivers, and they only really operate around the square mile, those central stations, King's Cross, Euston, and all those kind of areas. The busy stations where the investment bankers are lurking, that's where the black cab drivers operate. So I guess if Sadiq Khan wanted to, he could just like draw a line in the sand and say, this is your part, this is their part. Stop fighting, kids.
Should he be doing that though? Or should it be competition like you said? Or actually no, should he do that or should he not?
He should do that because I think he has to understand that the black cab has a place in a lot of British people's hearts. When you think of like if you were to do a collage of everything that's British, the black cab, the Queen will be in the black cab, waving the Union Jack. Yeah. So it's one of those things that can't be removed from the situation, and it's one of those things that the general population, let alone Londoners, aren't willing to compromise on.
Yeah,
I mean, I say that. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to go further north and find someone who actually gives a shit about this. Yeah. Maybe it's something that us in the South only care about, but it is definitely a UK institution, because whether you get people from the outskirts, tourists from outside the UK coming to the capital, the black cab is as iconic as the yellow cab in New York City,
which is also, they hate Uber as well. What if you change the knowledge? I don't know if they do the knowledge in New York. I presume they do something like that.
Yeah.
What if they change the knowledge? Instead of you have to know these streets.
Yeah.
So how about you have to know about these tourist destinations and give this sort of information? That for me as a tourist, I want to get a black cab. He knows, when, Big Ben was put up, and he knows that they use 2 pences and balance them on it to keep it fast, or make it go a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Or what if you change the knowledge, and instead of said you have to know all the roads, which Google can do, we give you value in a different way?
I think that's all distraction though. I think the main issue that everyone is kind of dancing around is the price point. That's what they're being beaten on, the price point. I don't feel that if someone gets into the cab, the fact that your Uber driver knows when the Tower of London was built and how many heads were cut off there is really of relevance. They just want to know, am I getting charged for sitting in traffic?
Or what about taxis and Uber hooking up together?
Well, I've never understood why they don't. Why they just come together. And as I'm aware, Uber as a service, obviously it doesn't have any actual cars in its fleet.
Yeah.
And if black cab drivers wanted to, they could be part of Uber, could they not? Kind of thing. I guess they could. It's there. It's the market is there. I haven't read anywhere that a black cab driver cannot be a driver that works for Uber.
Interesting.
So
food for thought.
Yeah, food for thought.
Food for thought. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so Uber is pleading that we sign a petition over here to stop black cabs.
That's right.
Doing that to them. So yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know. This could be a situation where Uber gets it. I don't know. Doesn't do as well as you think it should, but I don't know. It's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. Really. Are you an Uber user?
I am. I'm only an Uber user because the app and everything, it facilitates your travel so much better. If there was a black cab kind of app similar, I'll probably be using that as well, and that covered the amount of area that Uber covers, then yeah, I've literally gone to Manchester or different other cities up and down the country and got out, Uber app, and whatnot.
That's when you know it's sick, when you go to another part of the world and you open Uber. It just works.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I don't know, I feel like cab services all over the world should have hooked up. Head of Black Cabs here should have emailed New York, sat down, developed an app as soon as you saw it come in. But maybe
Uber is developing in Africa at an alarming rate as well. I mean, look, they even got an Uber chopper now.
Yeah. Where's that? Is that in LA or Dubai? Got to be one of those places.
It's probably.
Yeah. In London?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get Billy to get us somewhere next time. But yeah, you know, it's just times change, and it's like this podcast here. This is like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
But now we can. So I don't know what, like, do we complain about change or do we just embrace it and try and do it? Like, I feel like all this effort cab drivers have put into it and stuff. There should have been a taxi app way quick.
Yeah.
Bam.
At the end of the day, the people making Uber big is the consumer. It's not Uber. Uber isn't kind of creating these numbers or creating this demand kind of thing. Like, that is a direct result of people saying, well, we've wanted this for years. This is great.
Yeah.
So if there was that niche in the market, that space that the Black Cab Union didn't capitalize on, it is sad, but unfortunately, like, that's what happens when you kind of drop the ball technology wise. But again, things and times change, and I'm sure if the Black Cabs were willing to kind of come together to create some sort of interface which bridges the consumer closer to what they do and what they represent in London, i.e. if they can't beat Uber on price point, but they can beat them in certain other areas, like we give you the real essence of what London is, and all of our drivers give you a little bit of knowledge on the history of the great city that is London, as opposed to do you want me to turn the radio on? Kind of, which is what Uber drivers on. What station do you want it on? The kind of thing. Then
And also, Black Cab drivers need that aux lead, so I can light that taxi up with tunes. We need an aux lead.
The aux lead on the iPhone 7. Yeah.
What has become of the world?
Forgot about that.
That would still work. Aux lead at one end, you lightning cable at the phone end, it'd still come out the sound.
Yeah, but you need the adapter.
I'm saying there'd be a special lead. You'd have lightning cable in the back of the iPhone 7, then the aux lead just plugs into the MP3.
Yeah, but it's not as easy as it used to be, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill.
Funk. Exclusive.
I've got a playlist.
Funk just dropped some groundbreaking knowledge.
I got a playlist on my Spotify called Uber.
Funkadamus.
Already. It's that music that just pleases everyone. I got tunes. You know, like a tune that you didn't realize was a tune. You forgot about. Oh shit, it has a tune. Anyway, we're digressing, but yeah, that's the Uber situation. We'll keep informed, because this could change world Uber.
Yeah.
Like, if this impacts Uber in some way, positive or negative, this will affect the world. Especially if it draws back Uber's business here, pulls it down a little bit.
Very resilient. Uber's
very resilient.
So many
very resilient.
like issues with through the courts and whatnot. And I thought it was done for, and it's kind of risen above that, because the overwhelming demand for it, they know that if you remove Uber from the situation, you actually lose whatever that financial economy was getting put into it. So
exactly, crazy.
Money talks, man.
Money talks. Money talks. Money talks. Anyway, all right. That was a little bit of extra killing an hour about Uber. We need to get out of here, because Funk's just done his Marcus Meets episode as well, part 1 of that.
Yes, sir.
And then we did an episode of How to Kill an Hour, and 2 extra bits on the side. We've worked hard tonight, man. I'll get the butter beers in. They're non-alcoholic. All right, bless.